them would disappear. And at that point, I knew there was something I was missing. And what was I missing there? I knew I was not learning. And at that point, I gave myself 3 months to start learning. I said, these 3 months, I will not look into my ATC. All I'm going to be doing is just to do what? Just keep on learning the business. If I learn, I will apply. If I today, you teach me anything before I teach, and you're teaching, I'm already applying it to this. So if I learn, I apply it immediately. And doing that, that's why things started changing. And guess what? So the next time I didn't do anything. All I knew was I was very serious to have cycle. That's all I knew. Because I remember the day I was going to say when I invite anybody, I will make sure I know everybody I invited. But when they come in, the question is, what next should I? I don't know what next. But I was very serious. I followed them up, we attend meeting. But I don't know how to carry them. And thank you to God when Dr. Black came. He was someone that was easily like me. Because I remember he was already related with Dr. Vic, and then I've never met Dr. Vic one-on-one. I've never met Dr. Vic one-on-one. I've never gone to get Dr. Vic. Okay, like this, like that. I was avoiding Dr. Vic. I don't know who's going to say I don't go for just yet, and I'm not doing the rest. I don't have my program, so I don't like talking to anybody. So I just come and I don't find a corner and I will sit, and that's all. So when I got there, it was the communion with all of them, but we had to not do those things. And we started again, even though I now had someone that was moving. And the point something happened and I ran away again. But the first time I thought of meeting was January 2018. And it was not because of the business, it was the personal I told myself, I just want to have a new life. And that is where what helped me to overcome all the things started. Now let me show you. So how did I overcome this? And the first thing was, my helped me to do something. When I started business, like I said, I think I have more vision. The plan was just to have supplemental income. So I remember that period, I stopped doing the business, but one thing I was doing was, even though I don't relate with the mastermind and all that, but what I was doing then was I show up every day. Even though I don't relate with them. So each time I show up, I don't think that they notice me. So at the point I stopped coming around, and Pastor Mike noticed that a team leader that comes around stops coming. And he called looking for me. And he asked the chair, where is that team lady that come and say she stopped the business? And I remember he called me, of course. And he told me, where are you? And I couldn't start it. So you can imagine the specific and just I'm quit already. And I told him, I'm quit, I'm not doing it again. And that fall, this time I remember that fall I cried. Because I was like, what if he didn't call me that day? What if he didn't call me that day? Where will I be today? But that call, by the day I command that the time tells us that's the 8th of January 28. And they called and said, yes, but I said, no, sir, I'm quit the business already. Sir, I'm not ready, I want to pay something. And at that point, he gave me like an old check. He said, just come and see. Anytime you want to go. And I've been sitting in the night, I was waiting for him. And that's why I tell people all the time, it's not discouraged. Even though you don't feel like that call, don't that call. And I just want to provide eventually talk from didn't see the vision, the business never made sense to them. At that point, it sat me down. I remember that was thinking a global account. He sat me down and he started showing me the vision, what this opportunity can do. And he told me, Julia, will you like to be part of people's life? And I told him yes. He said, I told me your background. I said, yeah, he told me. Will you like to see people from your background around you? I said, no, sir. He said, why not? Let me show you where you're going to be in years. And I'm like, this and I was my mind. I don't just see him as a prophet, I see him like a prophet. I don't know if I see him as a prophet. Everything he said to me happened to me. And he told me, I can see you that you continue this in years to come. Not just that you're going to have lost it. He said, but you're going to that person that was that you're going to transform. Everyone that falls from you because you made it.
The way the camera people there for back.
He said that I was smiling. And he said, you're going to have car, you're going to have houses, things you never been for her. And he said, it will get to the time and you will give people this. And he told me the vision. He said, our vision is not just to make money, but to make money and impact on other people's lives. And after telling me that, for the first time, I saw the business not just to make money. And I went home that day. I was going to travel to US. I said I applied for Advance. I was going through Advance programs, trying to run to US. And I came back that day. All my questions I was eating, I locked them in a box. Till today, I've not opened that box since then. I made a decision that day. And I told myself, what am I going to take this business? I am going to do this business with my last breath. And at that point, I understood why I was here. And one thing I felt which was what? At that point, I never liked where I was, and that was a fancy that kept on chasing. So one of the things that happened to me. At the side, come on. Okay? And at that point, when the vision became clear, I said telling myself, this situation where you are, you can't remain here. Some of you are already there. You are really in a situation where when you look at yourself, you cry, but you are still staying in the business. How can you look at yourself? Look at yourself, 50,000 rupees, anything that is standard school fees. You are crying. You are begging God. Provide for me. And you have a business that just in a day you can get that school fees. And you are paying with the business. I want to like, but people that the place you have not got on, place you can still do better. Because I know you want to someone to satisfy with my present situation there. And this was one thing that kept on pushing. I made a decision, and when I made that decision, I said taking responsibility. So back here, see, I want to take one responsibility. I remember take a police for the police. Okay, so I told myself I would never regret because I didn't want to take responsibility. And the next purpose to our launch, Shelly, I'm the one that I'm like, she's like my second or my third generation. And guess what? Someone that is in your third generation, I don't know what to do for the person. And she had a lunch. And the chair was supposed to come. This is another lunch you took pay. And she was living around. And imagine fixing two lunch. One in Kuridu. He lives in Lifetime. And then you will leave from life and go to Dupe, from Dupe then to Kuru. And check will not meet up. Children, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to present. I was not ready to present. And the whole of that day, I was crying. If he was crying, and we didn't know what to do. Dr. Bati had not been presenting. I was very sad that it was on call. And it was a terrible situation. Because I didn't want to start taking responsibility. But the decisions, I thought myself, from now, this like this will never commence me. And that's why I tell you all the time. Not something you start taking responsibility. Your business will not shift where you want it to shift. You can imagine. You're running a race and you want to follow someone and you say you want to run fast. Meanwhile, someone is calling you and then you're just running after me. You're coming behind me and then you're coming behind the person. Automatically, you can never overtake that person. So anyhow the person wants you to move, that's how you move. And that's how I was moving. And for more than 1 year, I could not amount to anything because I have to run at share space. Anyhow share wants me, that's how I would move. And this was how I was moving. And that's how a lot of us are moving. After this meeting, what I'm going to tell you is what? Start taking responsibility. Tell yourself I was not taking responsibility for mistake. Because that's the only way you can move. The day I started taking responsibility, I will see myself, I will call my team members, well, let's do this. And I will run and go and do activities. Before I have to come and take the chair, and he will tell me he's traveling to Maya. And that thing has to wait until whenever he travels and comes back, and he will give me his time. And before I have no complication, because they will call me and I don't even know what to do then, because I'm waiting for chair whenever chair is around. And before you know, what will happen? They will die off. And I will start complaining. People come under me and they are just, people come under me and they are dying. I really very little of operation. Some of us, we don't have pattern at which you want this business. No pattern. Even though I was a part-timer, but guess what? Dr. Mark can attest to that. I was a part-timer when I made this decision. There was no day my phone was shoot. No day. After that, my daily method of operation, I told myself, for every day, I started with 2 hours. Because I don't keep this simple so that I'm carried. I told myself, every 2 hours, I must give it, dedicate it to this business. If you come to my house, when it's time for me to dedicate that 2 hours to this business, I will never come to you. First, I will tell you, stay home, and you will be there and you will go. Because I won't look at you. I have to start my daily method of operation. So I do my business every day. And I stay with 2 hours. 2 hours, and the activities were what you must prospect and you must invite. So how did I prepare my prospecting? Every of my handbag had questionnaire there because I didn't have personal, so it was either questionnaire or radio there. So then if I'm going to work every day, I will tell myself, I told myself that every day I will share 5 questionnaires. And the 5 questionnaires, I don't know if I stand on those. Once I enter that sheet, you get questionnaire from me. If I'm coming back, and it was a daily thing. So not like I do it today and I don't do it tomorrow. No, at least 5 or 10 questionnaires I will share every day. 4 or 5. And the 2 hours is not dedicated to cooking, and I know. And then the plan was, well, it was 35 contact listed. Pick that 35, and the plan is within 2 hours, and we'll be able to install 35 contact. At least 30 to 35 to 70 contacts. And I started doing this. And then I told myself that every day, at least 2 persons was in presentation. And the team of girls are sharing with me. It helped me that I was not just doing activities anyhow. I I was doing a coordinated activity that each day I know what I'm supposed to do. Some of you are doing full time, but if I ask you today, how many people are able to the business last week? You can't even tell me. And even if you say this something, what people, some of us don't even know how many people you cook in a day. You can't even say anything. How would you tell yourself about this? When you don't have a coordinated activity one day, nobody wants me this. But I know that I work. And everything that I go to work, I have a schedule of what I'm supposed to do when I'm working. I have to create a schedule of how I do my activities. And this was one thing that really helps me. Because at that point, I took mentorship. Mentorship was a lot of us to travel from one person to another. You come from this very thing is when you want to go from one, when you want to this festival, when you from place to place, everybody. I remember I went to place of God, I told him I want to go. I said, just tell me what you want me to and guide me. And on that day, he told me, okay, are you ready to pay the price? The first time he told me was, he said, resign from your job. And my spirit will not handle it. And I told him, tell me any other thing, but not my job. And we tried to argue, and that's one of the things I regret today. Not quitting my job on time. One thing I regret today. If you're here today, after this meeting, just resign and pay the bill. That's one mistake I made. Not resigning from what I'm doing. One of the mistakes I made that really till today. I remember what I was like. You know what that was? But today, one thing I regret today. And you like it. It makes sense. Then the people say, okay, position number one, resign from I said of that system you're saying, don't go in there. No work. But today, I regret not making that decision. And just like I said, all about your decision, I mean, so decide first. So that's for you to decide. Okay, so let's go. So I'm just talking to you, I'm not telling me what to do. And when I'm talking about not deciding, you then this month will sacrifice your salary. And I said, that's what I said, yes. He said you must come to something. Why some of us run our business anyhow, it doesn't cost you anything. So, but the one thing you have to be right, you don't know what it takes to maintain the office, you don't know what it takes to rent the office, you don't appreciate your leader. How do you take your business serious? Another thing is to be serious. It must cost you something so that you can take what I'm going to give you serious. That's why you don't take your mentor serious. Your mentor will tell you, if you are to recruit 5 people, how many people? You say, you know, something happened last week. My child was not feeling too well. But it didn't stop you from going to your work. Your child was not feeling too well. What is stopping you from doing everything you wanted to do? What is from doing the activities you're meant to ask you to do? And that was one of the things I was, and that day I remember the third time I served my mom. And I told mommy this month, no salary. I didn't send that money again. And I carried my 100,000, I started 100,000, and I gave the man I gave it 100,000. I said, okay, I am submitting this for a mentor. And he said this for 1 week. Fail, this will go. Okay, what did you do forever? Never. And guess what happened? That month, I came and gave everything, and that money disappeared. And the next month, and he told me, you have 2 things. And the 2 things for what you give out your DTC, or I will mentor you. So he didn't give me many options this time. And I gave out my DTC. So, what was the one he took my DTC? No, that one he told me, this denominator me as a spoken leader where I don't do anything. an officer, I should write, and I wrote it to the platform and posted. And he designed it and posted it for me. I said, if you fail, I will take away this position and I'm going to announce it to everybody. And at that point, I knew this was serious. And at that point, I took mentorship very serious. And guess what? After taking that, in less than 3 months of that mentorship, I was able to 700. And within 6 months, I started earning over $1 million. And guess what? From the day I started earning $1 million since day, my income never dropped for 1 day. For 1 day. You never give your dollar. You don't even know how much you earn again. Because I took proper mentorship. You were just lucky, and that was his purpose. This one was not my luck, and I was never again. This is what you would do to earn 1.5. Oh, yeah, do it, and I know what I should do, and I'm doing it today. And the glory of God, that value thing started changing for me. See, I was watching this connection with the people I was working with. And when I thought there is a lot of people because of what? Because I was not the one in charge. Then I would look at the crowd, yeah, I feel so bad. This person, I connected this person. I didn't even help him. And I told myself, well, person, I'll be coming into my team. There will be this time. If you check the people I'm carrying, even if it's not compared 20 generation, I know a lot of them. Because I told anybody that comes in, I won't neglect that person. I start working on myself. So I'm going to people now is that you don't have that strong connection with your team. Because somebody just signs in, and you just see somebody because the person is showing up, the person is already a leader. And what do? You have mentored the person team for the person. And it's a leader. He's starting his team. And before you could say Jack, everybody in that team have done what? Have disappeared. And you didn't even know what happened. And then you start thinking, hey, what happened? Hey, this is my leader was doing well. Suddenly, I don't know what happened to him. It's because there is no connection between you and his team. At that point, I told myself, everyone that comes under me again, there will be that connection and none of my nobody, I don't have any leg that have ever done well and the leg disappear. Never. I told myself it won't happen again. I will let it happen. And I have this strong connection. How many people in your team are you connecting with? How many people in your team are you connecting with? Some of us, it's not your immediate people. Once they start opening eyes, you just call them leader. Leader, my leader, did this one. And my leader, and who's your leader? Checking this person is your leader. Who's your leader? And you don't have time to find out what the problem is. Some of them, their leader might be teaching them very bad. And you won't even know until everybody in that team hears. And then you come back and start complaining. And this was one thing I started working towards and be that strong connection that nobody. And the point I have to create a platform where I do question and answer. Just so that I do question, I will just call my phone number. I don't have any challenge with your leader. Just chat to the privately. I just want to know what is happening because some of them are compared to their team and I don't want their team to speak up. And most of the time, these were the things that helped me. And still by the special grace of God, life, the grace of God, things have been changed for me. I am still work in progress, but today I am where I never dreamt of getting. Now, look at my best young secrets. Now, look at the things that helps me was what? I don't go for things that work. I go for things that it's that's one thing that helps. It's not about working on going from this direction and back. No matter how anything is, everybody say it's working. I will try it and be sure that if I teach this person can do it. I will find out how to make my thoughts and the way. If I teach and everyone is avoiding it, And when it was like, when big announcements came out, everybody were happy about the announcements. And then just started. And I tried it with some persons in my life. And guess what? When I tried it, everyone that week, I had a terrible weekend that week. I traveled all the way from Katsina. And normally I would collect this from them and that weekend. So I said, I would teach them big announcements so we have more. And I finished each one of them. They were happy. And they went, well, let me tell you, somebody, I was very happy to see that things. And they went to an not even one person. They avoided my call. And because of that, I didn't that. But it's not about what works. But what will you do that will dictate? No matter how little it is. That was one of my secrets. What will dictate? And that's why if I send anybody, I am requested to see that person start going. If I send anybody, they can start the person can get. And I'm trying to get to start going. So that the person can start getting very fast. So people said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all of them. I did that. You are teaching people something, they are telling you, they are avoiding it, and you are still talking of them. Why not look for what they can do? Recently, I don't tell you to write 100 contact. In some location, they will never write, they'll tell you they will write. And you notice that one more than knowledge, they are telling you, don't know, they are still writing it. And recently, when you start, before you need 5, you are not there and not finishing contact first, then go home and complete it, and they will drop the deliver. And anything you tell them to do with the first contact, what will they do? They will do it immediately. And before you know it, the 20 contact that work with them, and what will happen? They will get one to sign up. And then you tell the person write 100, they will write 100. Can I write more? The same person that will do shakara to write 100. So now they have, I give it one person and I'm supplying 500. They now see that the child who is working, I'm already getting for 7,000. I want to pay. And things are getting helping. So it's not to follow my secret. Things that help people, I still be not stop for it. Some of us, just because we started getting some of the others, your mentor no longer says, you go for that. They say you can step back. It's better than your friends. So honestly, it's higher than your friends. But still higher than your friends. So there's one thing that helps me. And this one through mentorship all the time. And the first one I get all the time is not. And I remember the pressure. When I talk about it, people are like, yes, what we I love pressure. Some of us like to spoke for a moment. Nothing is pushing, nothing especially but it's so possible. No target, no project at hand that if I don't do this,
What is that?
this guy is not at all. Let's get all the better.
Oh, the food was it?
And the guy has just literally now I just get the pressure. And look at that text message. I don't have to get from where you are. So I'm sure because of that, you are not in a haste to duplicate that person. Because you are not in a haste to start having your big man. Projects. And that project will fall to something So I would know. And it's not pressure. You are just doing your seat to wait. And because of that, guess what? You are not focused. Anything you have lost focus. You have lost focus. But any small thing you have lost focus. Please don't give it that. My parents said I should do masters. And that was one Christ command that was taken to almost the video. Just because the time I came and said, it's fine for you to do masters. There was nothing chasing him. So the man can made it for the third class. He just removed his mind from what he was doing. And now it's back to square one. The master didn't go. I don't really understand for something that was pressing in somewhere. What will we do? If I want to do this thing, and I be in trouble. So every time you are pushing me for that matter, there is going to be a prayer, and there is a project that we know. If I finish the project and I look at what you're saying, but because it has nothing, immediately he abandoned everybody, got distracted, and affected his team, and because of that, someone that was getting $900, what can I pay to do? Did not gain even 100,000. No pressure. The person I'm going to ask you today, what is that blessing you? If I'm speaking to you today and you have nothing, the only blessing is like that I said, I let do something, and the person that do not say, you are okay, then you are far from going far. That's why anyone wants them today, and tomorrow they get anyone back on them, no pressure. No pressure. The question is that all the time, create your own pressure. What's that thing you want to create today that will keep the mountain pressure? And then the final is what? Most of the time, have your accountability partner. I don't think that accountability partner is very important. It mustn't be someone higher than you. So when they say this accountability partner, that's not their deposits. This accountability partner. Oh. The accountability partner will be someone at your level, but all of you are pushing to be better. Someone that can just help all of us want to push ourselves and let's be better. And these are the things that get me. People look at me and say, oh, you do this, you do that. Yes, these are the things that get you on. And today, by the special grace of God today, God has used this opportunity to take me to a height I never believed I will ever get. Today, I can tell you that most of the things look like I can achieve everything, but everything someone at my age can afford today, I can tell you that I can afford them and even more today. Today, God has educated me through this project and just like it's not to go back. You can see, this was when me and the folk were all celebrated as top matches in the city. And the funny thing is what? When all these things were happening, I was not less than 2 months I returned from my job when I was celebrated as a top match. And the guy see here, I bought this car when I was still working, but going for like launching today. So I was talking when I bought this car. And the glory of God today, God has used the opportunity to use the car my home drives today. I used the house of my parents back then. And recently I told myself, this house is crazy. And I said, Mom, you will have to do something. I think it's like my plan right now. I am building a big mansion for them. What? You are just like me. When I enter today, there is a lot of people that used to call me names today. Some weeks ago, somebody in my village posted my picture and typed, just a type, she said, the woman king or what is she like? Somebody from my place. She saw what was happening in my group, and she came back and she typed, the woman king. This woman I never do it, but look at people that condemned me before. I didn't tell you I was, at a point I was disowned. But today, that rejected for today is that person that I am walking back. Not calling you back very bad. No matter how we go, I cannot go. People like Dr. Marvel and test. God, but they so that you use this much. Transform and tell over the I can choose to travel every month of the day. And tell myself, this month I'm going to take on with. This month I'm going to do on I can afford it. The question is what falling. As I don't know what is falling you back, but just like I said, you want to just remember Juliet. And tell yourself, I can never quit. Tell yourself, I can never quit. You cannot quit. It's not enough. But you have to start doing something. You have to start doing something. Something you can do consistently at your level. The project of what you want to do. So then, you are inspired. And then you run. And you want to go and do something that you know. And that's why I told myself, that's why I will tell you to create your profession. Because why we relax most of it is what? You will have just this external motivation. Now the pressure will have to do what? To increase that internal motivation inside you that when you want to rest, you can't rest. I want to appreciate each and every one of you for listening to me today.
You go.
I wanted to ask more, but I don't have my slides and get this one. Please design a slide. I don't think so. Okay, so what is my office in Abuja? Today I've met a lot of people that are doing well. The other side of the sea, I have also 3 professors doing a good side. They've been consistent. The glory of God can see that was so the glory of God's day. I have mansions. I have mansions. I'm not talking about one. I'm not talking about faith. And these are houses. In location where people that masters and giving. I will tell you where I started like Abuja. Do you know where I started Abuja? I started in Ikwete to that area where all you are seeing is water. And then when you are passing before your door, it was not even my house. I was that was where I started. Hey, I live in area where people that want exactly. And some people don't like that. That's right. And today, someone in the area where that matter. I live in. Like I took one of them my team and I said, I want to shift this. I said, you remember my background? I said, yes. Do you think you can afford it? I said, you can afford it. If you can do this, I can also do this. And I told them, back then, and the next time I was walk around that door. Those days, now I walk with, I think the first wife, Jennifer, when I came to Abuja. Okay, come on, people here. Okay. All right, so I worked with one of my people's wife then. And those days I used to go to that area. And when I looked at that area, God moved. And today, that same location in Asokoro, the same person you are seeing yesterday told the person, no, you cannot do that. My manager. And when I said that, I was like, you know, this guy was like the same thing. I don't even know if my own is at the end of the game. And they are going to end. Sorry. I think like this before. No, positive. What do you want for yourself? Talk to yourself and tell yourself what you want to become a happy. You will never go back and become the same person. So I want to appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. I want to tell you all that I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And very much just means that you go ahead and say, I want to thank the mastermind, the president of this strategy, and every other person here. I just want to let you know that just like our
Don't try to get everything from what we have. You will not get everything. And that people have got to go in your mind. Don't think back. And you write it down. That is over. If you talk to anything, you you don't know that we are paying. So let's we have people that are coming for the first time. If my mother is dead, maybe then I forgot to forget. She books, she knew that there's money that she she knew well where fitted. She knew well what fit that and she knew well. When it was time for contract, she came and sat behind me. And I was wondering what if you I didn't know what she was, but she was ready. I could feel it. The moment I jumped up, I was like, oh, okay. But that same passion. And from there, that being all the appreciate my man. Are you ready? Are you ready? That's how I mean. Thank you. Back for back. While we are still standing, back for back. It's an authority. Back. Let's see, ready. Something is about to happen here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Tell when we get to another time, you will understand. With sounding of better. Let me introduce her. Wait. Let me introduce her. I got kind of introduced this 1 month later. One lady posted something on the general WhatsApp platform. She said, my tithes. She just paid tax in her church. She posted it was over 100K. The tithes. I said, who is this lady? The third is one called Care Kushima. How far? Thank you. Ready? You're there? You're there? Let me know that there. See one called Care Kushima. No, that's another Kushima. Yes. So the next day I came to the office and I just wanted to spot her. Because if you are paying like for over 100K, you know what it is now. So I was just when she walked in, I was like, it's fine. I observed her for over 30 minutes. I was just looking at her. And she can do it, and I can do it, and even more. She became an inspiration, worked hard, became a good example, became a millionaire, but at the time, if I attended in Lagos, I told you guys I went there and found nothing. I have to borrow our MC search to take picture. So that I can tap into that level. I wrote the executive search. I do picture with it. I said, I'm going to call something like this. So today, she is in GAP of the Web State Corporation. Yeah. She's the only female GAP leader. You can change Amazon ambassador. She's the member of the top 20 Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, with a resounding ovation, thank me as I bring up there, Ambassador AJEWOLE Kayode. Wow, that's a word. It's a give your name. Thank you. Wow. First of all, I want you to put your hands together for yourself for people. Not for me, but for yourself. Not for yourself. There are a lot of people that are supposed to be this meeting today, but for one reason or the other,
one simply excuse or the other, they are not here. There are some people that came here, they're outside, they're taking pictures, they are snapping, they are doing all sorts of things. They don't understand. They don't understand times and what? They don't understand. And they'll be outside doing whatever they want to do, and their time and season will pass. So you are seated in this call, you're not getting distracted. Put your hands together for your support. I don't have 60 minutes with you, just 60 minutes, and you already, me nice very fast. So now is not the time to be on TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, like that. Now is not the time. When there's a break, you can speak word. Because if you bleed, you may do something. So I want you to pay 150% attention. And I want you to listen to this for yourself. Not that I'm talking, you say, hey, this one is for my dad, this one is for my down, and for you yourself. Because when you evolve, when you go to become the best version of yourself, then your people can evolve. You will understand that. Fantastic. My slide ready. Where am I pointing this? Where? Yeah? And I don't confused. Yeah? So I don't know. This side. Okay. But where's the slide first of all? It's coming. Can it come up? So I'm going to start first of all by sharing a bit of my story. And when your leader, Ambassador Dr. Elijah, my very good friend, when he said I should share my story, I said, which one story? So let everybody know my story already. He now said, no, that there are some people that may be here, they are new. We have so many testimonies with technology that a lot of old stories are no longer being shared, right? So he said I should share it again. I said, okay. And I also remembered when I invited Ambassador Juliet, I don't know if she's still here, for my event, one of my events, and she came and said, all of you know my story, ba? And we're like, no, we don't even know you. So I realized that there are some new people who don't know, so I'm going to be sharing that. But as I share that, I'm also going to be sharing some lessons, and I really hope that we learn, okay? So I came to Abuja 2012 for my cup camp. I did my youth service 2013. And I came for one reading day. Can somebody tell me what was the reading? It's beginning. What's their job? Yeah. I came to look for money. Who comes to Abuja to look for job? It's their job, no job is for that there was even oil company job. I came to look for money. Because growing up then, I come from Yoruba, so my parents, all our money is spent on education. My parents sent us to the best school, the schools that I went to. When I grew up, I realized that I had no business being that based on their income, but they believe some of them. So we had little of not much left for other things. So whenever I asked, why don't we have money? When I went to school, I would see my friends saying, oh, for summer we went to Dubai, went to Paris, I've never even entered a place. So I knew somehow I want to be money. When I asked, why don't we have money? Where's all the money? They say the money is where? In Abuja. You don't know my name, you shouldn't be here. They said, where? I said, where is the money? Why don't you have money? They said, money is in Abuja. I said, okay. I said, one day, this Abuja, I just kept quiet. I said, this Abuja, and come. So time for youth service, my parents were in Port Harcourt, another one was in Lagos. I said, I'm not doing Port Harcourt to Lagos, I'm going to that Abuja. I didn't even have anybody to stay with. They had to look for an answer for me to stay with. And I started. I was the kind of couple that I closed work 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Work in 1 a.m. Because I was working hard. I didn't come to play. But at the end of the day, no. So I developed plan B. Let me go and get a job. And the kind of school I went to, Covenant University, they're always telling us when you're looking for jobs, you see jobs of 300, 400, 500,000. Then you go down. So I entered the job market with that kind of mindset that I'll be thinking. The highest job I saw was about 73,000 naira. I said, me, 2 months, graduate. I said, no. I left. Then I started seeing my friends that had masters from Canada, US, UK, because then in my school, those who are wealthy, after school, they send their children for masters. Then all that can go for youth service. So when they had come back from their master, we were now finishing UTEP. Some of them didn't have jobs. Some of them were collecting salaries of 50K. We masters from abroad. That's when I realized that the PK was best. I went there, I said, and it was okay at the beginning, life was fine. But after a while, there's a law that says your income, as your income is rising, what's happening to your expenses? So after 1 or 2 months, salary was not there anymore. 15th of the month, I'll be broke. And that was when I started my poverty. So even people say, when you don't know when rain has started hitting you, you don't even know when to go at night. I didn't even know I had started it. Go to the bus park, I want to go to Newry, say you enter back, and it starts moving. That one you are aware of when the journey started again. But most people don't even know that they are on the journey to poverty. You're just going, you stop to eat that finish your nuts. You enter the car back, you are going. Because the cycle was a pattern. Go to school, read hard, work, get a good job, like scam. And I started at hospital. But I didn't resign from my job. They told me one day they will promote me, one day things will get better. And I kept on working. And guess what? Instead of them to promote me, guess what they did? They slashed my salary. And in Nigeria, we don't have any labor laws. Who do you report to? Who do you complain to? They say things are hard. And my poverty journey just kept on. But after they slashed my salary, I told myself, I said, I can't live like this. You know, you have to get to a point where you tell yourself what? The truth. Most people just continue, they now start hoping. The Bible says some people die hoping. That one is a faith. But when it comes to money, you don't die hoping. Take action. So I kept on looking for something. I said, well, I can't stay like this. I can't continue. I was working where we were selling cars. The people that had brand new tear leather cars that they were changing was the CEO and the son. So I thought, okay, I'm not the CEO, I'm not the son. Which time will I ever get it? You know, you have to tell yourself what? It was a fantastic office. I got was amazing, but I wasn't getting my. And I started looking forward. And God being so kind, I found